Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. Any new members, if I do gain any new members from this video. Um, my name is Baylor Sherrill and I recently competed at NAIC and I made day 2 with Iron Thorns Crustle. Um, Something about me, I have been playing Iron Thorns since I started a little over a year ago. Honestly, it's been more than a year, but I can't quite remember. Um, I've went to 3 regionals, and this is my first IC, and at every regional, I have been 1 point away from day 2 with Iron Thorns. I went to the Louisville regionals, and I played Quad Thorns back whenever it was Palk Noir meta, and I ended up going um, I think 5-1. I can't quite remember, um, but I was 1 point off. And then San Antonio, I went 5-2 maybe. Yeah, I went 5-2. I'm pretty sure. I can't quite remember. Anyways, and then Atlanta, I know I lost my win in the last round, and then in Atlanta, I lost like by round 5 or 6, but I ended up bringing all my points back up to being 1 point off. But anyways, that's irrelevant. Here we are now. NAIC, I ended, as it says here, 7-3-3. I ended day 1, um, 6-1-2. Yeah, ended day 1 6-1-2. Great record for me. I was very pleased. Um, I was just ecstatic that I could even do this with such a suboptimal card. But now he has a friend, Crustle. Um, so the reason I picked this deck list, let me go and lower this a little bit so you guys can see the proper counts. The reason I picked this deck list was one, obviously Iron Thorns, and with post rotation going through, I have not been able to really play Iron Thorns. Like actually at Atlanta, I played Future Box instead of Iron Thorns or just Quad Thorns because um, he just didn't feel possible to power up and be viable. And I could not find him a friend this whole rotation. Like I've seen some Mimikyu lists, I've seen Melodic, I've seen all this stuff, but I have not been able to find a very good list that I feel comfortable with running Crispin in, to actually utilize the other typing. Because I might as well just play something different instead of just playing a different color energy to power Iron Thorns up. Since we lost Double Turbo. So, Crustle here that has the ability Mysterious Rock in to prevent all damage to this Pokemon by attacks done from the opponent's Pokemon EX. So this is a very, very big thing. This is Mimikyu Wall pretty much. And the reason that this card is very, very good. I mean, Raging Bolt was massive. Marnie's Grimmsnarl was massive. Guardy was massive, and most of the Guardies were playing like quad monkey bull crap. And I mean, Flareon was big. You can see I faced Dragapult Charizard. That was very big. Roaring Moon EX. These were mostly donk decks. And I play the Nest Energy to stop Roaring Moon. So these decks were all very big, and the good thing is, even with Marnie's Grimmsnarl being the biggest Pokemon in the meta, we can prevent that damage on the bench when we get sniped. So this card hits the meta very, 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 very well. And when it doesn't hit it super well, Iron Thorns is able to turn off said Pokemon that are hitting it well. And you can just kind of like alternate, what Pokemon you want to mess them up with. And the good thing is, Crustle is so good that when you start with Iron Thorns and barely get your Crustle going, some people are baited into just going for your Iron Thorns. And then guess what? You have this Crustle with 150 HP with a Luxurious Cape on him now that they have to deal with. He's not going away. So, it's kind of a problem. So anyways, with my list, I'll just tell you why I ran the things that I did. Um, so here we have 3-3 Crustle Thorns, 3-3 Crustle line, and then 3 Thorns. You know, there's merit to running 2 Thorns for a different card, but it just increases your chance of starting it. And I had one match where I had 2 Thorns prized, so you don't know how that would be. 3-3 Crustle Dwebble line. Um, I never once felt like I needed more Crustle or Dwebble. Like, it's kind of like you can't prize all your Dwebble, and if you do, then you're probably gonna get a prize with your Dwebble or your Thorns before it even die, or your Crustle or your Thorns before it even dies. So you might even draw into it. We have recovery as well. So if you have Dwebbles and then you have the Crustles prized, you can like Night Stretcher the Crustle back and then keep attacking with the next Dwebble. Um, so yeah, I felt comfortable with these lines. I don't like the 4 Thorns. It feels like it's not as useful as the Crustle. Um, so yeah, that's why I played 3-3-3. Just felt right. It's greedier lines. That's the world we're in right now. We're running greedier lines. We're not running consistency. Um, so then I played 4 Arven. Arven is a massive, massive card in this deck. I wish I could run 5. I wish I could run 6. Um, Arven gets us a lot of things in this deck. Uh, the thing is you could start turn 1 Dwebble in the active, have an energy in your hand, and no Crispin. Guess what? Arven, Pokégear, Luxurious Cape. You can just keep the gear in your hand. Don't want your opponent to see that you have Crispin for next turn, because they might not even know you play Crispin. Um, you grab Pokégear and you grab Luxurious Cape. Guess what? You can use Dwebble's attack, Ascension, to search for a card that evolves, so the Crustle, and put it onto it. And now guess what? You have your 2 energy away, a Crispin attach, or a Crispin away, or 2 turned attaches away from having a 250 HP Dwebble that's just swinging non-stop. Come on, that's pretty good. Arven is also very good because it lets us get Pokemon catchers. So originally in my list, I played 2 catchers and 3 crushing hammers. I didn't end up playing the Super Potion. I also had a 1 less boss's orders, and what else did I add? Um, hmm, either way, I had 3 crushing hammers and I had 1 less boss, and I didn't have the Super Potion in my original list. Um, so I went to 3 Pokemon Catcher because every Arven can essentially turn into a mini boss's orders. And also the thing in this list is I really would like to, if they get a bunch of Hoots and I don't have the stadium, I can Iono into a catcher. I can chase those Hoots. I can chase the Fan Rotoms. I can chase the little Pokemon that they're building up. Like if I don't have a boss in my hand, I can research into catchers. Every I want this list to constantly be revolving around me being able to do more setup. I need to be doing something every turn. I don't like, yes, it's nice if they can't hit me to just keep hitting, but I want to be able to get healing in my hand. I want to be able to get bosses in my hand. I want to be able to get more energy on my Pokemon to set up for the what ifs. Um, I'm not worried about prizes. I can easily play seven prize games every game in this deck. Playing Luxurious Capes, attacking with Thorns. Um, not using a cape to change up the prizes. Anyways, so yeah, that's why the catchers are good. Poké Vital A, this card is a game changer. This card's a game changer in the deck. I mean, we get hit by Slither Wings. We don't have Mist Energy, so we get burned, so we go to 140. We get hit by 2-fan Rotom attacks. We get hit by Baby Bolt with Sadas and Energy Attach. Uh, I mean, you know, like we can go 2 turns because they'll Sadas, Energy Attach, that's 60. And then they'll Sadas next turn, Energy Attach again, that's 120. And so or they do the 110 and I mean, they just stick with the 110 and then they go 170 or no, they go 190 because it's 130, I think. Anyways, Poké Vital A says a big no, you won't. This is very, 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 very crucial to this deck. The only card in the format that is not Ethan's Typhlosion that is killing us right now is Chi-Yu. Not many people are running the Chi-Yu. We just win. And obviously Chi-Yu stocks are going to go up at my locals, I'm sure now, because I said that. But this card is good. And we have ways around the Chi-Yu. We just play reactively. You see a board state where Chi-Yu could come in, just kill the Charmanders, kill the Charizards. Don't let them do that to you. Anyways, Poké Vital A, very big card. So after that, I have a 1 Buddy Poffin, 1 Nest Ball, 1 Radar. The reason I went with this lineup, originally I thought of 2 Nest Balls instead of the Techno Radar. The Radar is very good. When matchups are bad for Thorns, you can just Radar, grab both the Thorns, and research them away, or you can Iono them away. And guess what? Now you know you're not drawing any of those Iron Thorns. It's very good. The Buddy Poffin, it's if it gets prized, you have Nest Ball. Same thing for Nest Ball. If it's prized, you have Poffin or the Radar. It just kind of made sense. You have one. You have one for each side, and then you have one for both sides. And I think I had like my Poffin prized one time whenever I was really, really needing it. And it's like Nest Ball still feels alright. One Night Stretcher, it just felt right to have a Night Stretcher for a Crustle or maybe an energy you may need late game. Like if you have Super Potion in your hand, you can Arven for Night Stretcher and keep going. A lot of moments where I had Night Stretcher or Arven and I need a Night Stretcher for an energy or that Crustle to go because I was building it up in the back with Crispin and all I needed was the Crustle and we play no search for it. So essentially this Night Stretcher can become a search for that energy or that Crispin or that Crustle. So it just felt right and arguably I would probably consider dropping the Rod for another Stretcher. That's up to you. I'm not sure I would right now. I don't know about it. I think Rod has its merits with the Crispin. But anyways, Stretcher's very good. Super Potion. We're going to click on this card because not a lot of people probably know this card. This card is sick. This card is very sick. Fan Rotoms, Slitherwings, the Hoot Hoots because I got attacked by those. The Brute Bonnets because I did get attacked by those. So many things. The Dracloaks, all these things. And we cannot get one shot by anything other than Ethan's Typhlosion and Chi-Yu. So we run this card because we are setting up one Crustle, Raid Boss Crustle, and we leave our bench to only one Crustle. And all we're doing every turn is attaching, which is insane. Because we can easily build up a Crustle to 3 energy and have turns to spare to attach energy, which is very good because guess what? Super Potion, discard any of those special energies we have except for the Mist because you never know when Mist may come up. Heal 60. This is good. Guys, this is a really good card for this deck. It may seem funny, and it may seem like a joke, not very good, but this is a very good card. Um, some would consider Cook. Cook is not a bad card either. I just don't want to have like one of supporters in my lineup because I want the consistency with my supporters. Like my Arvens are very big. My Ionos, Iono is probably the worst supporter we have out of all of them, honestly. But my Ionos can be alright. Boss is very big because we get to chase the threats. Crispin is massive. Research is very good because usually we're researching with a dead hand or trying to find, that one card we need. But anyways, Super Potion's big. Um, I unfortunately found myself needing to research out of my Super Potion quite a few games, and so for that, I want to add a second one, and we'll talk about here in a minute what I would change for it. Yep, Super Rod, already talked about that. It's good for bringing back energies for Crispin. Luxurious Cape, it's also very good to play the 7 prize card game with the Crystals. Luxurious Cape, this card is insane, guys. And you could even consider playing a rigid band if you want effectively I think it's 180, 190. Can't remember, it's just 40 or 30 less damage. Anyways, depending on the meta, that could probably be better than the Luxurious Cape. But the reason Luxurious Cape is very good is that we live through the Charmanders that hit us for weakness. You do not do that with the rigid band, I do not believe, because it does 90, and I don't know if that applies before resistance or before weakness or after weakness. So if it applies before weakness, we take 100 damage with a minus 40. I think it's minus. We'll just look it up. We'll just look it up. So it's minus 30. So we'd effectively take 120 if it's before weakness, and if it's after weakness, we take the 180 and then minus the 30, so we'd take 150, we'd get KO'd. Not so worried about looking into that card. I kind of like the Luxurious Cape a lot more. Future Booster Capsule. This card is important. You start with Iron Thorns. Your Arven can turn into a retreat pivot. Your Thorns can always turn into a retreat pivot. Thorns is still good in this matchup. Think about it. Lots of decks have Latias in them nowadays. Latias is a very good card. You have Thorns on the bench, and they're just like the people who know what they're doing are constantly trying to figure an answer out for your Crustle. Boss Latias, Thorns in the active, no retreat. Stall some turns. You have enough turns going to where you can retreat out of this, go back into the Crustle, and boom. I mean, play around their energies. You could just leave Thorn in the active. They have enough energy in the discard pile. It doesn't even matter if it's Latias. It could be any Pokemon. Force them to find a retreat. Force them to find a boss on your Crust on the bench. Do what you have to do. But I do not like to leave my Crustles on the bench that often. People who do not know are people who are afraid. I have figured that out. You have a Dwebble on the bench. People are just going to kill that Dwebble. They know what Thorns does. Thorns doesn't affect them as much. They know they can kill that Dwebble. They do not know what it does, so they will figure it out. Or they will just take it out. Turbo Energize. I hated this card. I hated this card. I love this card in Quad Thorns, but I hate this card in Crustal Thorns. I hate this so much. Sorry, my headset turned off. I hate this card. It just never really found it just never found its moment for me because like I just said, people who do not know what Crustal or in the best of threes, they did know what Crustal did by the second game. I turbo energized these Crustal, this one Dwebble on the bench. They're just killing that Dwebble. The Ascension is a very important attack. So yeah, This card is the one that I was gonna tell you I would cut for another Super Potion. So then our Arvens just become tons of heals. Yeah, this card, cut it. You could play a Ridge Band. You could play another Medical Energy. We'll talk about that in a second. You could play another Mist. You could play another Potion. You could play another Crispin. One of these is what I would definitely change up. Um, Even drop an Iono for the Crispin. You know, whatever you want to do. Team Rocket's Watchtower. Big, big card. Raging Bolt can't, Raging Bolt is a good matchup for us. It can still be difficult with their ability to constantly loop the attackers, and sometimes we do need to set up, and it does take us time to set up. Um, so this just shuts off the Noctiles in the meta right now. You know, Sylveon EV Box. I practiced against my friend. I played one EV Box at NAIC. I am 21 or 22 wins and 0 losses against the EV Box. Never lost a game against EV Box. This deck just naturally beats it. Enough healing to change the world. So Team Rocket's Watchtower, shuts off the Noctiles, shuts off the Ursalunas, even though we don't even care about the Ursalunas. Shuts off the Porygons, I guess, if you're worried about Porygons. Or Porygon Z, whatever the stage 2 one is. So anyways, 4-4 energy felt perfect. 4-4 felt amazing. 4 grass obviously for Crustle, 4 lightning obviously for Thorns. You could even arguably go to 3 lightning and 5 grass if you wanted to, but Crispin, I wouldn't do that. Just keep it at 4-4. 2 medical energy. We'll go ahead and click on this just in case nobody knows. As long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides colorless. And when you attach this card from your hand to one of your Pokemon, heal 30. This card is insane. This card's insane. I love this card. This card has insane synergy with Super Potion in the late game. You attach Medical, heal 30, Super Potion, heal 60. Get rid of the Medical energy because you have to discard an energy to use this card. So insane card. I love this card. I wish I had space for 4. Same with the potions. I wish I did, but I do not. Mist energy. Really good for the bolts. I mean the Roaring Moons in the meta because it did just win a special event, I think, something like that. Really good for Dragapult because this is the way they can take you out. Really good against EV Box. They cannot Angelite you. Really good against Marnie's Grimmsnarl. They cannot Devo you. This is just a good card. It's just a really good card. I love it. Jet Energy. I was considering dropping this card going into NAIC, but I did not. The reason is you start Thorns sometimes. Whoa, we started with the Jet Energy. Whoa, we started with an Arven. Let's go ahead and Arven for that Pokégear. Let's go ahead and Arven for this luxurious cape instead of getting that future booster capsule. So then we can jet into the Crustle or jet into the Dwebble and then attach the luxurious cape and then Ascension in the Crustle. Boom. 250 HP Crustle instantly. And then also, you needed this card against Maractus. Maractus was very much played. You needed this card when they try and stall you, because there is people that could try and stall play. Maybe if you benched a Dwebble for insurance, and you're stuck with that Dwebble, you can't find the energies you need. Jet Energy back into the Crustle. We're still swinging. This card was a lot more important than I figured. I loved it. I would not ever change it. Wouldn't consider dropping it for anything. Also, I don't know if I dropped the gears, or I told you about the gears earlier. Gear is a big card for us. We want the gear. I also don't even think I talked about the supporters. The four Ionos are really good. Um, we need those for obviously the Hoo-Hoos, the Noctowns. It does turn into a shuffle your hand, draw 6 new cards, so you could get that catcher back. But like I was saying earlier, you know, it's probably the least important supporter out of all these. 4 boss, chase what we want, you know, typical stuff. 3 Crispin, arguably could go 4. Um, Very big to power up our double crustals. Research, massive card in this deck. Research into more heals to actually, or cards to just actually play the game. Energies. Um, so yeah, that is my list. I ended 733, 268th place. I could have done better. I was really just happy to make day 2, and I'll run through my matches real quick. Round 1, Raul Pierre. Shout out Raul. You are a great person. I had, I think it was 1-1, and maybe it was 1-0. I'm not sure, but I think it was 1-1. And I pretty much had game on board. He was not able to do anything, and I just told him, I was like, well, I would appreciate if we didn't have to tie, you know, if we could figure something out. I'm trying to day 2. Raul didn't even want to talk about it. He just said, you got it, man. You're going to win it. I know it. And so he gave it to me. Thank you, Raul. Game 2, Elliot Miller. This is a very good player. I will say he's a very good player, and I unfortunately could not find the mist energy in our game, or either of our games, and so I got devoed and slowly chipped away my Monkey Dory. Um, he's a good player. John Caesar, or Kazar, I'm not sure. He's not played very much. He's been playing for several years, but he's not traveled very much to play, and he's not played Roaring Moon much. He just picked a deck and he wanted to play it. He never got the Poison Donk, and I started Thorns both games because he was playing the Poison package, so I just naturally won. Eduardo Melendez, like I said, Flareon box or Eevee box, I don't lose a game. Eric Correra, um, I don't remember this game, but Raging Bolt Ogerpon, loop the heals, just win. It's easy. Jeremy Gibson, this guy whiffed Gardevoir a lot. I started Crustle game 1. You know, I he was whiffing, not able to get Ralt, and I started the nuts. Like I think he made me go first, and I went turn 1, attached to Crustle and pass, and then he goes Ralts, just the one Ralts on the bench and whatever else he had, and I go Crispin, um, Crispin, Crustle, evolve to Crustle on the active, Pokemon Catcher hit heads on Ralts, KO, and then he goes Night Stretcher, bring back Ralts, I go Boss Ralts, chase it. Game 2, I go start Thorns, and I just only play the Thorns because that's how you play this matchup, and I won. Um, Game 7, Brandon Sharp. This guy was a great person. Shout out Brandon. I love you, Brandon. Sorry you didn't make day 2 here. You're a good guy. Um, I started round 1 1-0. And game 2 we're about to shuffle up and we got deck checked, which was really lame. We got deck checked and I had a Part Gold Soul Silver Pokégear in my deck and it was like bent, whatever. They told me that I needed to change it, and then eventually were like, just go ahead and play this match and get it changed. And my buddy, who is actually on the 59 of the same cards, it went and brought me his Pokégear because he was out of day 2 contention. Thank you, Kane. So yeah, we just tied. I was like, I don't want to risk not, I don't want to risk being donked after because he won game 2. Um, Not I didn't get donked, but I did start Iron Thorns every time, and so I was cool with the tie because at this point I could get 1 tie, 1 loss, and 1 win. So I just went ahead and got my tie now. This game against Anthony Orentari or Orentani. Sure. This guy was fun. He was very nice. Another really good guy. He he was good. You know, another good player. Did not make day two. Sorry, Anthony. You were very awesome. Sorry if I seemed a jerk during our matches. You're a good guy. Rentaro Katayama. Love you, bro. I love you, Rentaro. You were awesome. It was a Japanese player from obviously from Japan. We ended up following each other on Instagram, and I talked to him a little bit. Game one, I show him the Crustle, and you know I win. Or I sat down first because I had gotten my day two, and I was like, okay, I'm just fine to ID. I'm not worried about the points. I'm just happy to have made day two to show myself I could do this. I sat down and was like, "Do you want an ID, man?" He said, "ID? No, no." And so we played the game out. I won round one. Round two, um, I was not able to keep going, and so he won. And after round one, he was like, "ID?" Threw his hand out, and I was like, "No, no, come on, man. Of course you want ID now." So the next round, he wins, and I'm like, "ID?" And so we both ID. Um, so that was a really funny thing. I was happy to do that. Nicholas Pursley, this guy busted out the Chi-Yu out of nowhere. Um, I misplayed it. Um, I realized that I can just pass and not allow him to do anything with the Chi-Yu. Um, Matthew Hubbard, shout out Matthew. You killed it, bro. This is a friend of mine I met at San Antonio, seen at Atlanta, seen here. He killed it. I loved his deck. This was really sick, and I'll show you it here. 35th place. Matthew. Oh my goodness. Wow. Matthew, that is insane, dude. I mean, look at this list here. He's playing an Ogre Pond package to constantly Cornerstone or to Sob, and I love this. He surprised me with the Bravery Charms, even though I'm hitting for weakness, and he won. Wow, Matthew, that's really awesome, and I'm proud of you. Anyways, uh, we were gonna let one or the other win. There's no point to tie. Um, I kind of like I was just having fun in our matches. I wasn't playing super duper serious, and um, you know, I'm not gonna say I let him have it. I'm not gonna say that because I didn't, but I was playing a lot more relaxed and ended up losing to him, and he did play well. Um, Justin Say, not much to say about Gardevoir. I started Crustle both games. Um, or I started Crustle game one, got the pick, and I went second. Started Thorns game two, and then started Crustle game or Dwebble game three. Wasn't able to do anything. Jaden Manso. Um, I'm not very sure about this list. Wow, this guy went against Christian Fontnot and Ozil on day two. That's pretty bad. Not very sure. He wasn't able to do it ever against me in our game. Um, this is not a bad list, honestly. But yeah, he just never was able to do it against me, and I took the game. I took game one, took game two very easily. So yeah, that is my NAIC run and my deck list. I just wanted to shout out Brandon for also making day two. Um, Similar lists, but lots different. He played another Thorns. He played two Chorus. He played Kieran, one less research. He played two Nest Ball instead of that Radar. He played a Vessel. He played the Evolution. He played Practice and Town Store. He also played the Reversal. You know, good job, Brandon. You made day two. You should try out. You should try out some of the things that I had, like the potion, the catchers. I think they were very good. Um, I think Kieran's interesting. I do think Kieran is very interesting because it allows us to do that extra damage. I didn't find the extra damage as necessary because I could loop my healing, but you day two'd with it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching if you made it this far. Again, my name is Baylor Sherrell, and I played Iron Thorns Crustle to NAIC, and there will be more to come. I love Iron Thorns, and I love the new combination with Crustle. Thank you so much for watching. This is a heart. It's for you.